Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another vlog. It is currently Tuesday. It is 10 to 8 in the morning and Madam's being grumpy, aren't you? She's just having her feed at the moment. The boys are just upstairs getting themselves ready to go to school in a minute. I just thought I would take you along with me this week, a good old weekly vlog. Avery is still on the mend. She is still a little bit poorly. She's finished her course of antibiotics now, and we did get the test results back from the hospital. There was no bacterial infection and they didn't grow any cultures on the viral infection either, so either one or two things could be possible, I suppose, and this is just my opinion. It's me speculating, it's not what the doctors have told me, but either the viral swab, it just didn't grow any bugs. That doesn't necessarily mean she didn't have a viral infection. I would be quite shocked if she didn't, just because she's still bunged up now, or aspiration pneumonia, or both. Personally I think it's both, but yeah, she is kind of on the mend. She slept through last night, thank goodness. I needed a good night's rest. Yesterday she was really happy, smiley all day. Today she's just woken up a little bit moody. She seems tired, which I find really strange because yesterday she had a bad night's sleep and today she's had a good night's sleep, so I don't know what's going on. We're home from the school run, been home for about an hour. Avery is still moody as sin, aren't you, baby? She's still grumpy. I don't think she knows what she wants, really. So, bit of a busy week this week. Got an appointment every single day. I mean, that's not totally uncommon. We rarely tend to get a week where there isn't at least one or two appointments. Yesterday Avery had her occupational therapist appointment. It wasn't really an appointment. I asked the occupational therapist to come over to check out some of her equipment, which was all fine. I didn't film for this vlog yesterday. I actually filmed for a different one. Today is actually my next psychology appointment, so this time it's going to be over Teams, so it's going to be a virtual appointment, which I'm fine with. It definitely makes it easier. So yeah, that is at 10:30, so in about an hour. I mean, I still get quite nervous. Like, I'm still quite nervous about these appointments, but I am proud of myself for doing it. Tomorrow and Thursday are strike days in the UK. The school are having a lot of strikes at the moment, not just their school, but every school, all the teachers. And the majority of the teachers in the boys' school are part of the union, I believe it is. So all of their school bar year 3 is closing, so Zach and Eli are going to be home for 2 days, which is a little bit frustrating, because Avery does have a hospital appointment this week, and it would have been so much easier if I could have just taken her myself, but now I need to take the boys too. This is not a big appointment, but it's definitely not one I want to miss because it is her cerebral palsy review. So I definitely don't want to miss that one. Tomorrow Avery has a portage appointment, so those are nice appointments really. It's just like play-based therapy. Yep, Thursday is her cerebral palsy review, and Friday she has physio, which I'm glad about because Avery's stander has broken again. One of the pads on the knee keeps falling off, and it's done it twice now. The physio's already been once to fix it and it's happened again, so Hopefully she can fix that again. Other than the appointments, we don't really have any other plans for this week. We do have Marley this weekend, and it is Mother's Day on Sunday here in the UK. Woo, where are you going? So our day on Sunday is gonna basically just be running around visiting both of our mums. We need to take Marley home on the Sunday, so we will visit Josh's mum in the afternoon, and I will probably swing in to see my mum in the morning, just so that I can see her on Mother's Day and wish her a happy Mother's Day. Honestly, I feel like when you're a mum with kids, but then, you know, you also have your kind of own mum and mother-in-law, it doesn't feel like Mother's Day is supposed to be a celebration for you as well. I mean, Josh does try his best. I've always told him the nicest thing that he could do really is have the boys write a card for me. It doesn't need to be a materialistic thing. At this age, you know that nothing's really coming from the kids. The focus is kind of on, you know, wishing our mums a happy Mother's Day, and I kind of forget that I'm a mum too. It's really weird. But yeah, so that is the plan for this week. Ow, you just pinched me, little madam. Like I mentioned earlier, Avery's now off her antibiotics. She's still not 100%, but I'm hoping the worst is over. And I am so glad to see the back of those antibiotics, because she has been explosive for a solid week. Honestly, anything that she's been fed has just gone straight through her. The amount of clothes that we have gone through in a day just because she leaks through them instantly, it's been ridiculous. Yesterday, she actually was sick and projectile vomited about 3 minutes before I had to take the boys to school, so that was fun. Hopefully we won't have another experience like that this week. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get her on her tummy in a minute, just because she's quite fussy, and I want to see if she can rechannel some of that energy into something else. I've been watching Liar on Netflix. I don't know what made me like click on it in the first place, but it's kind of got me hooked now, so I'm not sure how many more episodes I've got to go. But I'm going to carry on watching that. I think I'm going to do some tummy time with Avery. I just don't feel in the mood to do anything productive in terms of housework at the minute, not until after my therapy appointment. So I just think I'm kind of in my own head a little bit at the moment. Avery's just having a little bit of time in her stander. What we've actually, oh, excuse me, what we've actually been trying to do, lift your head, Puds, good girl. What we've been trying to do is a little bit of standing without the stander before she goes in her stander. Oh dear, I don't really know why. I just think it's a nice change of pace, a different way for Avery to bear weight through her legs. Yeah, and she's actually doing really, really well, as you would have seen in the clips that I took. You can't eat the stander. You can't eat the stander. What I've noticed that she's been doing an awful lot of is she tries to bring her hands to her mouth, but because she can't really coordinate it and she can't lift her arms to her mouth because of her tone, she just ends up kind of just trying to eat the air, don't you, baby girl? Not gonna lie, I probably tired her out a little bit doing the standing before I put her in the stander, so that is probably why she isn't holding her head very well. Hi, better? Should we do some stretches? And this I don't know what it is about stretches that makes her laugh. I don't know if she just likes the feeling or if it tickles. But when I tell you stretching Avery's arms out is a workout for me too, I am not lying. Her arms are so stiff. Loosen those armies. Loosen those, that's better. That's better. This one's still tight. This one's still tight. Loosen, that's better. That's better. That's better. Ooh. I did have to get Avery changed because she had a little bit of a blowout, so I've just popped her back in a baby grow, just so she's nice and comfy, and so that hopefully I don't have to get her changed again today. So therapy appointment went well. It was a bit shorter, just because by the time we've actually got onto the Teams call, some of the time had already been eaten up. But long story short, she said based on what I had told her, it sounds as though I'm suffering with chronic and acute stress. So chronic stress is just the stress of everyday life and everything that's going on. And then acute stress are the stresses in certain situations, such as like when Avery gets admitted to hospital in an emergency. So the kind of outcome of this appointment and moving forward is that we are going to try and identify my values, my family values, and the values I want to live by, and then we are going to try and work out how I live by those values, because realistically if you live by your values then you're going to be happy. Trying to work out how to live by those values without emotions like grief and trauma and guilt and loss getting in the way. So I feel quite positive about it. So yeah, unfortunately I can't have another appointment for a while, only because she needed to take some time off just because she would lose her holiday if she didn't, so that is absolutely fair enough. And then the only other times that she had available was either in the Easter holidays, and we've just both agreed that might not be the best idea, just because therapy sessions, they can get a bit emotional, and especially with the boys home, you know, I don't really want to have to be in that kind of mindset and that state when I'm supposed to be taking care of the boys as well. And then the other appointment she had was literally 2 days before we went to Orlando, and I just thought, like, I'm gonna be so busy, I would rather just wait until we get back from Orlando. So that is what we're gonna do, but I feel positive about it, and I do think it has helped. And yeah, it's helped giving me the mindset that there is a plan to help me feel better. So yeah, that is the update on that. Morning guys, it is the next day. Please ignore me, ignore the way I look. I'm just trying to keep my fringe out of my face, and the teachers are on strike today, so the boys are home, so we've had a bit of a slower start to the day. I say that, it's just gone 8 o'clock in the morning. But one of my first jobs for today is to wash Avery's sheets because she leaked through last night. Luckily this mattress is waterproof, or not waterproof, but wipeable. So probably the same thing. But yeah, so I need to change the sheet. I'm not looking forward to it because the mattress is so tight to kind of the bumpers. It's really difficult to get things on and off it, which, don't get me wrong, I am not complaining about whatsoever, because I would rather that than there be gaps. So yeah, I'm about to tackle that. The way Avery looks at Zach just melts my heart. She hasn't taken her eyes off you, Zach.
I know, because she loves me.
Yeah, she does.
I love you, Avery. Ah, maybe in the mouth, no, on the eye.
She likes to grab your hair, doesn't she?
She's not trying to grab my hair, she's trying to blow up my eye.
I know, but she has grabbed your hair before.
Well, she has actually beat me up.
She's beat you up?
Yeah. Listen here, everyone. If you ever see this baby, do not mess with her. She may is little, but she is actually she will never stop fighting until she's victorious.
I like that.
And of course she does smile at people he likes, but she doesn't mean to hurt you. She just doesn't know what she's doing. She's only 2.
So it's time for Avery's feed. I've just put myself together a little bit, and by that I mean I've literally just put some different clothes on, brushed my teeth, done my skincare and redone my plaits. I am not making an effort with my appearance today. I've not even filled in my eyebrows. And as you can see, I am clearly wearing a dressing gown. I am fully dressed under the dressing gown. I did actually get dressed. It's just, once again, cold in this house and we're not leaving the house today. Same with the boys. I let them keep pyjamas on if we're not going anywhere. It's comfier, so why not? I'm not trying to impress anyone. So appointment wise today, Avery has a portage appointment this afternoon, so I'm trying to not tire her out too much because portage is like play therapy and it's a nice therapy, I find, and she just doesn't enjoy it if she's tired. So we've got portage at 1:45, and I did actually have a couple of emails that I missed from Avery's occupational therapist. This isn't the same occupational therapist that came out on Monday, so it gets a bit confusing. She has 2 occupational therapists. She has a disabled children's occupational therapist, and she is kind of in charge of adaptations, equipment, things around the home that are needed basically. And then we have a community occupational therapist, and she is more kind of on the therapy side. So the community occupational therapist had emailed me a couple of days ago, but because the emails went into a secure platform, it went straight into my spam folder. So I missed them. I didn't pick them up till today. She wanted to come out at 1 o'clock, and I have emailed her back just to say that I'm happy for her to do so. There may be a bit of a crossover between the 2 appointments, but that is fine. But she hasn't replied, so I don't know if she's got my email now. So I don't know if Avery is having that appointment today, but if she does, then it is double whammy. Again, just another reason why I really don't want to tire her out too much today. Avery's already had a blowout this morning, haven't you? Which is why she is in different trousers to what she was wearing when you saw her earlier. She's quite happy today, luckily. Aren't you? You happy girl today? I still haven't heard from the insurance company. If you watched my last video, I talked a little bit more about it then. Basically, because of a couple of Avery's conditions and because of her cerebral visual impairment being a strong suspicion as opposed to an official diagnosis, they have come back to me with, we've got to send it to our underwriters, we're not sure if we can insure you. So they said 72 hours, it's been 48, so I'm still very, very on edge, and I just feel sick with it. Like, I can't even do my usual, like, watching Disney vlogs, which is what we enjoy to do because it gets us excited, and it just makes me feel sick at the moment. And this really isn't the way I wanted to be feeling when we are 5 weeks out from our trip. We're literally 5 weeks out today. Now should be the time when we're really gearing up, we're getting really, really excited, and this has kind of put a bit of a dampener in the works. If they can't insure her, then I'm sure we'll figure something else out. We'll have to find another way, but honestly I don't really know how it works with travel insurance. I thought I was doing the right thing by, you know, saying that she may have this condition or she may not. I'm wondering if maybe I should never have mentioned it because it's not a diagnosed condition. Like, they don't know that she has it, but the issue is it's all over her medical letter. So I thought I was doing the right thing, but I don't know. She hasn't been diagnosed with it, so I just yeah, I don't know. I thought I was doing the right thing. It shot me in the foot and now I am nervous. So yeah, that's where we're at. Other than that, today really has just been a kind of nothing day. I'm still waiting for Avery's bedding to dry so I can put that back on the bed. I'm just feeding her now, and then I will probably just clean up a bit before her appointments, or appointment, depending on if we have the 1 or the 2. She did do a little bit of tummy time this morning, but I didn't push her too far again just because I don't want to tire her out. And she did do a good amount of bits and bobs yesterday, you would have seen in the footage. She went in a stander. She did some kind of, I don't want to say freestanding, but kind of standing without the stander. And you know, surprisingly, she did really well with that. I was quite impressed. The issue we've got is the dystonia, and I think I'm gonna kind of talk more in depth about kind of everything that goes on and all of the challenges we face and what Avery's good at and what she's not good at, etc. in another video. I just thought it would be pretty good to do a bit of a cerebral palsy update, if you will, considering she's now 2 years old. It's quite a milestone, isn't it, Pudding? So yeah, I think I'm gonna carry on watching Liar on Netflix. I've gotten hooked on it while I feed Avery. It's nice not to have CBeebies on the TV for a little bit, isn't it? Boys are doing fine. They're upstairs at the moment. Eli's been nagging me for weeks to download a new game onto his iPad, so I let him do that today. A bit of a nothing day until Avery's appointment, but it's nice. It's nice to have nothing to do for a little bit. I mean, there's always stuff to do, but it's nice to have nothing time sensitive to do for a little bit because it's always manic. So I'm taking this breather while I can get it. So I've just had an email from Avery's occupational therapist. We are having the appointment at 1, so we're going to be in appointments from 1 until about 2:45 today. So Avery is likely to be one very tired girl by the end of it. By the way, I bought a new phone case. I bought this on Saturday. Found it in New Look. It's got the Cheshire Cat all over it, which I thought was incredibly appropriate for where we're going. It's a skinny dip case, and I've heard about skinny dip through loads of different influencers. Apparently it's a really good brand, and so far I actually really like it. It feels good quality. Normally I get my phone cases from eBay or Amazon, but I do really like this one. Quite impressed with it, to be honest. I will link it below if I can find it, but the reason I actually bought this one is because it was on sale. The other one, the price tag was like £25, and I am not going to spend that much on a phone case. This one was marked down to nearly 50% off, so I picked it up, but because of that I don't know if maybe it is kind of an old line that they don't make anymore, but if I do find it I will link it below. Skinny Dip do some really nice Disney stuff, but I have always kind of steered clear just because it is on the slightly more expensive side, considering I can buy Disney stuff from Primark, which is much more affordable. I'm just doing dishes. Wonderful task. Just thought I'd give you a quick update. I got sick of waiting and I called the insurance company. She's covered, thank goodness, she's covered. They're not charging us an additional premium, which is also good, but obviously if there was we would have paid it. They are putting her down as partially sighted, just to cover the CVI or potential CVI. I do think maybe they need to expand their dictionary, I suppose, just to kind of include everything. I mean, CVI, it's not uncommon, not in the world of cerebral palsy, and I found it quite surprising that I couldn't find it, and no one seemed to know what I was talking about. So they've put her down as partially sighted, which is inaccurate, but apparently it covers her for the CVI, so I'm happy with that. I feel so much more at ease now. I feel like maybe we can actually start looking forward to this trip. The only thing that we're still waiting on is I need to do online check-in for our car hire before we can book a car seat for Avery, to rent a car seat for the 2 weeks. I mentioned in my last video, it turns out Avery's car seat, which we were planning to take with us, doesn't meet the US regulations, so we're gonna have to hire one, which is no big deal. It costs a bit of extra money, but it's not a massive amount. and it just means that we're following the law and Avery's going to be safe in the car. But yeah, need to do online check-in, and I can't do that until I have my dad's and Josh's driving licenses, because they need those details to do online check-in. Josh's has just come through. He sent his off to get our new address changed. We're still waiting on my dad's because my dad's was about to expire, so he had to get his sorted. And he is a HGV driver, so his was a little bit more complicated to do. He had to go for medicals and eye tests and whatnot. So I think he's just had his sent off. So hopefully that should be back in the next week or two, fingers crossed, and then I can do that, and then that's it. Other than printing things off and checking into the flight and things like that, that's it for the kind of stressful last minute need to get this done before we go stuff. So I feel a lot better. That was really, really worrying me, because obviously there was absolutely no way we would have gone without Avery's travel insurance. The driving licenses are slightly different. A, because Josh still has his driving license, and B, because there are others. You know, we can all drive, so it wouldn't be the end of the world. It wouldn't, you know, completely cancel the trip. This would help. If we couldn't have got Avery insured, this would have been the end of the trip. It would have been game over, and that would have been awful. But it's fine, because now I don't have to worry about that. So feeling very relieved, much happier. Gonna crack on with the dishes. Boys are just eating their lunch, and the occupational therapist is gonna be here in 10 minutes. Just very quickly before the OT turns up, we've had a couple of Amazon packages. You guys know I like to share what I'm buying. You guys must also think that I shop all the time, and not gonna lie, I kind of do, but most of the time it's all kind of stuff we need. So first thing I picked up was a new external hard drive. I mentioned a while back that I needed to buy an external hard drive to try and get my laptop to survive a little bit longer, because my beloved MacBook Pro is over 10 years old, doesn't update anymore, always has problems, crashes all the time, is very slow, and I cannot yet afford to buy a new laptop, so I'm trying to save it. So bought a new external hard drive because my last one is full, and I think I've been using it for maybe 4 months and it's already full. And that was a terabyte. This is a terabyte, so a few more months of storage there. And then the second thing is something for Orlando. This isn't something I was going to buy, but it was something I knew of, but in the end I just decided to buy them. These are cooling towels. My plan was just to take like a washcloth or flannel for Avery and keep cooling it. However, I have heard that these ones magically stay cooler somehow, and I will spend money if it means keeping Avery cool, because keeping Avery cool means less chance of seizures. So I picked these ones up. They were actually really inexpensive for the two. I like that they're compact and they have these little pouches that you can put them in. They also come with carabiner clips, and I really like carabiner clips because they clip to everything. So got these for a trip as well. Hopefully that will keep Avery a bit cooler, and yeah, that is my very mini haul. What an exciting life I lead. Appointments are all finished. Avery's just having her next feed now. It was a lot of work for her, 2 appointments back to back, but we talked about a few different things. Her new targets with portage, and what they're trying to do is kind of like videos. So every few months they'll take videos, see how she's doing, because sometimes you can see things in video that you just miss in real life, and I've definitely noticed that through filming my YouTube videos. So yeah, she's had the appointments. We talked about the equipment and stuff and her lack of tolerance. I've spoken to the OT about maybe it's worth not keeping the expander, since her tolerance hasn't built to it. It's not really serving as that much of a purpose. She's going to have a think about it, and I'm going to speak to the physio about it on Friday as well. She did mention seeing if there was some way we could find a piece of equipment that kind of had movement, maybe like a swing type thing. She said she's not sure if it is possible, but she is going to do a bit of digging. We also talked about preschool. Avery starting nursery. At the minute we're just in the stages of seeing what's around. Avery's EHCP still hasn't been assessed yet, so but yeah, so there's not really anything to talk about with it just yet. I'm just about to have some pizza. The boys are having some pizza. That machine is beeping at me. It is a bit of an early dinner for us, but I'm starving. The boys were hungry, so yeah, we're having dinner early because we can. Speaking of early, tomorrow is an early start. Avery's hospital appointment is at 9:30, so we need to be leaving at around 8:30 to get the bus. I thought it was a hip clinic. Apparently it is a cerebral palsy review clinic, so I have no idea what to expect. I'll definitely fill you in once we get back. I imagine this little madam may fall to sleep for a little bit now, because she was practically falling to sleep while I was getting her food ready, weren't you, Puds? Hey, you worked very hard this afternoon, didn't you? It's Thursday, we're back from Avery's hospital appointment. I'm just making the boys some lunch. This morning has been hard. I feel like the whole day is going to be quite hard. Avery is not happy right now. The boys are in with her, but I thought I'd get her lunch made. It is raining. It has been raining all day, so we got absolutely drenched walking to the bus. Avery screamed the entire way home. It has not been an easy morning, to say the least. In terms of her actual appointment, it turned out to be what I thought it was. It was to do with her kind of legs and hips. They were taking measurements, checking her legs and her hips. When they called me to confirm the appointment, the receptionist said it was a cerebral palsy review, which kind of gave me the impression of something completely different, but it was what I thought it was initially. So in terms of the measurements and stuff, they said everything looks fine as far as they can see, but really what they find these things useful for is when they redo them in, say, a year's time, they can compare. But at the moment they're saying her legs and her hips, they all look fine. She doesn't seem to have any kind of permanent tension, which is good. I did mention about her arms. I said it's really her arms that are kind of more stiff than her legs, and they just said it is OT and physio that really deal with that. And she'd write a note on the report. So yeah, it wasn't really what I was expecting, but it's done now. We're home, making the boys some lunch, trying to be as quick as I can, because Avery, I'm not sure if you can hear her in the background, she is really not happy. I think she's tired, so after this I'm going to try and get her down for a nap. Honestly, I just want to put my dressing gown back on, I want to put my pyjamas back on, and I want to crawl back into bed, because today has been hard. Good morning. Good morning, baby girl. Are we gonna have a better day today? Hey? Are we gonna have a better day today? Ready? Let's open the curtains. It's Friday. Apologies for my lack of filming yesterday. I wish I could say that I didn't get a chance to film. Honestly, I just didn't feel like it. By the time we got home from the hospital, it was such a stressful morning. All I wanted to do was put my pajamas back on, take off my makeup, and just chill with Avery. She was quite grumpy for the rest of the day yesterday, so she needed a lot of cuddles, so that is exactly what I did. I did intend to film a little bit more this morning, however my mum came over. I wasn't expecting her, and last weekend we went and she had her tragus pierced, that one there, and it's swollen quite a bit, and the ball has gone, it's disappeared. So she came over to see if I could do anything. I've tried to have a tug on it, I can't get it out, so I don't know if the swelling has gone over the ball and the ball is inside, or if the ball's fallen off and I just can't move it. So she came over this morning to see if I could do anything, and then she managed to get in touch with the piercer, and she's going to see him in a minute. So she didn't see the point in going all the way home just to come back. So she worked from here this morning. Bless her. I hope that it's just the ball that's fallen off and it can be taken out. Otherwise I think it's going to be a bit of an A&E job, which is frustrating. Personally, I do not think the piercer, it's not the same place I went to get mine done. It was a different place, and I don't think the piercer used a bar long enough to accommodate swelling. My bars they're too long now, but they were fine when they were swollen. Obviously you've got to think about swelling, so I hope it's okay. I hope she doesn't have to go to A&E, that would suck for her. But basically that is why I didn't film this morning. I was just spending a bit of time with my mum. Little madam has been grumpy once again this morning. Honestly, I think she is just tired. She is in need of a nap, and she does have a physio appointment later. So I'm hoping she has a little sleep before then, just so that she can do a little bit more in her physio appointments. Aside from that, the rest of the day, honestly, it's just houseworky bits that I need to get done. I've got a load of washing in the tumble dryer that I need to fold and put away. I've got some dishes to do. This little madam needs to be put down for a nap, don't you? And then, yeah, physio appointments, school run as usual. The boys are back at school today. The strike day was 2 days, so they're back at school today, so it has been nice not to hear them arguing. And then this evening Marley comes over, so I'm not sure if we're all going or if just Josh is going to go and pick him up and bring him back. But then yeah, we've got a house full of children for the weekend, which is always nice because the boys really get along and they all dote on Avery, so it is really nice when we have all of them together. And then like I said, Mother's Day's on Sunday, so another busy day. So it's turned out to be quite a busy week. I feel like it has flown by, which I'm not mad at, because the more the weeks fly now, the closer we get to our trip, don't we? So we're now about 4.5-ish weeks out. Well, it's not really, it's just under 5 weeks, but still, I believe it's 33 days to go, which really isn't long. It's very exciting. Someone asked me to do like a countdown. I haven't really been doing it, to be honest. I think I've just been letting you know every now and again how long is left to go. So 33 days as I'm filming this. By the time you see this, it'll probably be more like maybe 4 weeks, maybe even 3.5, which is very exciting. I can't wait. But yeah, so physio appointment this afternoon, but in all honesty, obviously I don't film the appointments just for the therapist's privacy. So there's not that much else that interesting to show you guys, so I think I am just gonna close this video off here. I know this vlog has been a little bit all over the place, but this week has been a little bit all over the place, and you know me, I like to be as realistic as possible, and the fact that my videos are a mess half the time just it's a good reflection on my life, really. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not all bad. There are definitely high highs too. It's just sometimes things get a little bit manic and overwhelming, which I feel like this week has kind of been like that. But it is fine. Next week is a new week, so please hit the subscribe button if you would like to follow us along on our journey. I am considering next week filming like a bit of an update, like a 2-year update on Avery in terms of her cerebral palsy and where she's at, and the milestones that she's reached, and the areas that we still need improvements, and kind of what we know, what we don't know, that kind of thing. So with all that said, I will see you guys in a few days with another video. Bye guys.